many banks and credit card companies have decided to put their headquarters in the lovely state of Delaware. You know what that means for the rest of us outside Delaware? It means jurisdiction. It means if you are looking for a state with the standing to investigate and charge potentially criminal behavior on the part of financial institutions in this country, it is not just New York you are looking at, because that's where Wall Street is. It's Delaware, too. And that's not just for financial institutions' behavior in Delaware. It's for what financial institutions have done nationwide.
More than 500,000 Florida homeowners were foreclosed on last year, swamping the Florida court system. Real estate consultant Richard Kessler has tracked foreclosure filings in Manatee and Sarasota counties and found problems in most of them.
We found in 72% of the cases the documentation was defective. In other words, things were left out, they weren't there, they contradicted themselves, or they were downright fraudulent and fabricated.
Turns out these banks, which demand borrowers have all of their paperwork just right, these same banks have fouled up their own paperwork to a historic degree.
The family of 6 that lives in this home thought they were getting a loan modification. Then, through a realtor and friend, they found out that their home was already in foreclosure and sold.
So why should any American citizen be kicked out of their homes in this cold weather in Ohio? It's going to be 10, 20 below zero. Don't leave your home. Because you know what? When those companies say they have your mortgage, unless you have a lawyer that can put his finger or her finger on that mortgage, you don't have that mortgage. And you're going to find they can't find the paper up there on Wall Street. So I say to the American people, you be squatters in your own homes. Don't you leave. In Ohio and Michigan and Indiana and Illinois and all these other places where our people are being treated like chattel. And this Congress is stymied.
Tell me who owns the house today? Who owns this house that we're sitting in?
I'd give anything to be able to answer that question.
Nobody can tell you.
Nope.
The way Wall Street blew up the American economy was that they broke the link between your house and the bank you borrowed the money from to buy your house, the bank you would have to pay back. They combined zillions of houses, zillions of mortgages together in order to bet on them and buy and sell them in bulk like they were pork bellies or stocks instead of Americans' real lives. Today, the Attorney General of the state of Delaware, Beau Biden, has announced that he is filing a lawsuit against the mortgage industry, the entire mortgage industry. He is doing that by filing suit against one company, a company incorporated in Delaware, a company that is owned and funded by the banks, a company that the banks say is keeping track of 60 million American mortgages, of 60 million mortgages with which Wall Street and the banks have been playing roulette. That's turning regular Americans' very old-school idea of owning a home in this country into a game of Russian roulette. Joining us now is the Attorney General for the state of Delaware, Beau Biden. Mr. Attorney General, thank you for joining us. It's nice to have you here.
It's an honor to be with you, Rachel.
How is it possible that people are getting foreclosed on, forced out of their homes, without even knowing who owns the house they are getting kicked out of?
Well, look, the outfit that we sued today under the Delaware Deceptive Trade Practices Act, which every state in the union has a version of it, they in 1995 decided to privatize the recordation system in America. Look, as you know, Rachel, for centuries, one of the cornerstones of our jurisprudence, of our common law, has been real property law. The ability for a farmer or a person to walk down the street, go to the recorder of deeds office, find out and feel and touch who actually owns their home or has a security interest in it. In 1995, the banks and Fannie and Freddie and a lot of smart people on Wall Street got together and said, look, that's just too cumbersome. We have to, in order to securitize these things that we got to feed the beast with, we've got to find a way to make this process more nimble. And they were able to do two things. One, avoid millions upon millions of dollars of recordation fees. And two, make the ability for them to resell and slice and dice these mortgages, these mortgage-backed securities, more readily accessible and easier for them to do. They did that in private. They basically literally took our recordation system, national and private, and they screwed it up. And we allege in our complaint, we filed today in the Chancery Court in Delaware, that it's deceptive to borrowers and deceptive to homeowners and deceptive to property owners.
Do you feel that with this lawsuit, with the target of this lawsuit, you are aiming at the heart of what's gone wrong in the wake of the financial crisis, or do you feel like you're still at the edges, sort of working your way in?
I think this is central to it. I think it's we're working our way into this. Look, I mean, the reality is we have more investigation to do. my colleagues are doing investigations. Tom Miller is leading an investigation that he should be given credit for. Anytime you have all 50 attorney generals agreeing on something, you know the banks have been up to something that's not good. We are united in our robo-signing, our servicing investigation. But this is something that our office has been working on. I think you'll see General Schneiderman in New York work on similar aspect of this. You'll see Martha Coakley work on similar aspects of this. This system, MERS, this privatized recordation system, connects it all together. And that is where they have basically begun, from our perspective, and our investigation reveals, lost track of who owns what. And that's how scary and deceptive this has become.
Mr. Attorney General, your father is Vice President Biden. So asking you about state politics versus federal politics is a personal question as well as a political question, and I recognize that. But why is it that we are seeing a fraud issue as fundamental as this, potential fraud issue, handled at the state level by your office and by other attorneys general at the state level, and not as a federal matter by the Department of Justice? Well, look, I mean, Rachel, in fairness to our federal partners, Tom Miller is leading an investigation with Lisa Madigan in Illinois on the servicing aspects of this that have been worked hand in glove with Tom Pirelli at the Department of Justice and Secretary Donovan at the House at HUD and others. So there are a lot of folks doing a lot of hard work on this. The issue as it relates to the criminality of this that Eric and I have talked about and you talked about in your intro. These are hard cases to make from a criminal perspective. Anytime you have lawyers and accountants blessing and sealing and giving, blessing the conduct, it makes it very difficult to prosecute that conduct. And that's what you have here. That's why some of these origination cases or even some of the securitization cases are hard to make. That doesn't mean people aren't trying to make them. That doesn't mean that my office and General Schneiderman's office won't continue to try to do it. I'm attacking this problem at this level because it seems like it's a very fundamental violation of a very easy law to understand, and that is a deceptive trade practice. Deceiving consumers, and in this case homeowners, about whether or not and who owns their note and mortgage is the most basic consumer protection right they have. And that's what I am. I'm a prosecutor and a consumer protector. That's what I get paid to do, and that's why I'm on this. Beau Biden, Attorney General of the state of Delaware, thank you for taking the time to talk with us about this tonight. I've been looking forward to talking to you about this for a long time, sir. Thanks. Thanks for your coverage on this, Rachel. It's been phenomenal. Thank you.